Who would listen to this from start to finish and say that this thing doesn't sound amazing, like beautiful? Nothing that I've listened to on my channel so far beats this album. Straight through, like start to finish. This is the best project I think I've ever listened to.
And I think I am going to leave it there. Yes, without question, I would give this record a 10 out of fucking 10.
There are great albums, and there are masterpieces. Albums that redefine genres then set the bar so high that they're basically untouchable. MF Doom and Madlib's Madvillainy, that's one of them. This album isn't just music, it's art, poetry, and storytelling, all wrapped in Madlib's mind-bending beats and Doom's razor-sharp lyricism. Today we're breaking down why Madvillainy stands as one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. By the early 2000s, MF Doom was already an underground legend. He had reinvented himself after tragedy and industry rejection, coming back with the mask and a new persona. He wasn't just an artist, he was a supervillain playing by his own rules. Madlib, on the other hand, was a mad scientist of beats. His work with Lupac, Quasimodo, and J-Lib already showed his insane talent. But Madvillainy took it to another level. When these two linked up, it was like the perfect storm. Doom's gritty abstract rhymes meeting Madlib's eclectic sample-heavy production, and the result was pure magic. Let's start with Madlib, because Madvillainy wouldn't exist without his genius. The production here is otherworldly. He didn't just make beats, he created entire soundscapes. Take accordion for example. The beat is so simple, just a haunting accordion loop, but it's hypnotic, it pulls you in immediately, and Doom's laid-back flow just glides over it. Or Meat Grinder, where the bass line is this jazzy, off-kilter groove that feels like it shouldn't work, but somehow it does. Madlib's use of obscure samples is what sets him apart. On tracks like Shadows of Tomorrow, he's pulling sounds from random Brazilian records, weird 70s jazz, and vintage cartoons. It's chaotic but cohesive. Every beat feels like a universe of its own, and yet it all ties together. Now let's talk about Doom. This man was not just rapping, he was crafting puzzles. His rhyme schemes are so intricate that you catch new layers every time you listen to it. Take a track like All Caps. On the surface, it's just a banger, but when you really dig into the lyrics, Doom is flexing his wordplay, his persona, and even breaking the fourth wall. On Rhinestone Cowboy, the closing track, he spits this bar. Doom also had this ability to make mundane things sound profound.
I keep hearing these strange sounds come up in the kitchen. Holy shit, it's the Slender Man, and he's cooking hot dogs on the stove. Hey, you hungry home invader, stop raiding our refrigerator. Yikes, he just whacked me with the warm wiener. Twice. Wait, you ain't got no lips. How can you eat potato chips? God, knock it off, you skinny son of a bitch. Quit stealing our food and go buy a frickin' sandwich. You phony bastard. Look at this place. It's a disaster.
It's like he's giving you a glimpse into his stream of consciousness, random yet deeply calculated. His voice too, it's just unmatched. It's gravelly and unpolished but hypnotic. You're hanging on every word because you know there's something brilliant just below the surface. You have the track Accordion. It's stripped back, it's eerie and confident. Doom doesn't need a bombastic beat to prove his point. He's here to let you know that the mask isn't just for show, he's about to take you on a journey. You also have the track Meat Grinder. The beat feels like a fever dream with its jazzy bassline and surreal vibe. Doom's flow here is so dense that it's almost overwhelming. Lines like this show his ability to make nonsense sound almost poetic. And then you have Money Folder. This is Doom flexing hard. This track is a braggadocious anthem disguised as a quirky underground cut. The beat switches keep you on your toes, and the hook is catchy without being cheesy. And then you have Shadows of Tomorrow featuring Quasimodo. This track is like stepping into a different dimension. Madlib as Quasimodo drops abstract verses while Doom anchors the song with his steady delivery. It was just a perfect example of how Madvillainy thrives on balancing chaos and control. And then you have the fan favorite, All Caps. This song is a fan favorite for a good reason. The beat is cinematic, like it belongs in a noir film, and Doom's verses are a masterclass in confidence and creativity. This hook became iconic for a reason. It's simple, but it's unforgettable. So here's the thing about Madvillainy. It's not tied to a specific time or a trend. There's no flashy production tricks or gimmicks. Instead, it's pure artistry. Doom and Madlib created a world that's entirely their own, and stepping into it feels like an adventure every time. The album's imperfections, the abrupt transitions, the lo-fi quality are what makes it so perfect. It feels raw and authentic, like it came straight from the minds of two geniuses who didn't give a fuck about following industry standards. And that's why Madvillainy is still being dissected and celebrated nearly 2 decades later. It's a blueprint for what hip-hop can be when you prioritize creativity and storytelling over mainstream appeal. This album inspired an entire generation of rappers and producers. Artists like Earl Sweatshirt, Tyler the Creator, and even Kendrick Lamar have credited Doom and Madlib as massive influences. Madvillainy showed that you don't need radio hits or flashy marketing to create something legendary. It also redefined what it means to be a rapper. Doom was not chasing fame, he was just creating art, and in a genre that often rewards bravado and visibility, Doom proved that mystery and vulnerability could resonate just as strongly, if not more. At the end of the day, Madvillainy isn't just an album, it's an experience. It's the kind of project that pulls you into its world and does not let go, whether you're here for the beats, the rhymes, or just the vibe.
What the fuck?
There's a little bit of something for everyone. Doom and Madlib didn't just make a hip-hop classic, they made a masterpiece, and even now, Madvillainy stands as a reminder of what happens when two geniuses come together with no limits. Rest in peace to the legend MF Doom, and shout out to Madlib for crafting this timeless piece of art. If you haven't listened to Madvillainy yet, do yourself a favor, you will not regret it, and let me know what you guys think about this album down in the comments below.